Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at DC Comics Unlimited Aquaman, the new 52 version. And this was a figure initially I did not think I was going to want to pick up at all, because the original prototype images that we saw of Aquaman looked horrible. It looked like it was something that they just put out really fast to be able to show, hey, we're doing a new 52 Aquaman. And then, Darkseid was there as well. I think Darkseid is a little bit better than what his prototype was, and Aquaman looks like it's very much better. But I was willing to pick up a second Aquaman for two reasons. One, just because I want to have an Aquaman with my Justice League, and I currently have the 2-pack Aquaman and Black Manta, and that Aquaman is standing with the Young Justice Aqualad, and I have the Black Manta up there as well. They're kind of in their diorama together. And I didn't have an Aquaman standing with the rest of my Justice League now that I had quite a few members of the New 52 and everything like that from Mattel. So once I saw some other people's reviews, Chapman Films was the first review that I saw of him. I thought, oh wow, it does look really good. It doesn't look as crappy as it did. So I thought, well, I'm going to try and see if I can find him in a store, and was looking, didn't see. And then I picked this up on Amazon for $15. And I think he was originally $35. And I can't remember, but one of my friends on YouTube had put a link. It said, hey, Amazon's dropped the price of Aquaman to $15. So I hopped right on, picked him up, and they recently did it again. This is actually the second Aquaman I got from Amazon. The first one I don't have. They tell you how long the figure or whatever the product is that you buy from Amazon, how long it's supposed to take to ship to you, etc., etc. Well, that day had come and gone, and probably almost 3 days later, I called him up and said, hey, where's the figure? I can see from the tracking information it's about an hour away. They got into looking at it, have no idea what happened, but they said, well, because you're a valued customer, we will rush ship you a second figure, and if the first one ever shows up, call us and we'll give you a return label and you can send that one back. So this figure arrived to me in 2 days. So, of course, I didn't pay anything technically for this figure, although actually technically I did. The first one is still in limbo. They said if it doesn't show up, you've already obviously paid for it, but if this first one does show up, then send it back. So that's my story with this Aquaman figure. I think he looks really good. So far I haven't got him out of the package yet, but we'll do that. And Amazon has been usually really pretty good, but once in a while you'll get mailed something and it takes forever. Certain packages arrive a lot faster than they say they're going to, and others it don't. So enough rambling, let's get into the package. Some people have been saying right here, this card image that you see, and again, everybody talks about the card image from Mattel, is such a fantastic box. I've been saying it a lot. I'd like to get another one of these of some figure just to be able to keep in a box, because the box art is so cool. But anyway, some people have been saying that this artwork here is Jim Lee, and it's not Jim Lee. The Jim Lee Aquaman has the sideburns and the wavy hair. This is the DC Collectibles version. This is actually the artwork of Ivan Rice, if you could see that there. There's the artwork side by side from the comic. This is Aquaman, the first issue from the New 52. So this artwork and the way Aquaman looks is from the Ivan Rice. The Aquaman that you just saw here is in the 5 years into the past before the New 52 started. This is how he looked initially, then he goes into this, so it's a whole thing. So this is not, in fact, the Jim Lee artwork. The Jim Lee artwork has the longer hair and all that stuff. So this is the Ivan Rice, and I like this version of Aquaman probably a little bit more than the Jim Lee version, but I still really like the Jim Lee artwork of Aquaman as well. Again, the fiery lava-ish explosion package here. Very cool trident. We'll get into that in a second, but I love the box art. The back of the box, there's a bigger picture of it. And we'll read the write-up here on Aquaman. It says, found abandoned, Prince Orin of Atlantis was raised in the ways of the surface world and made the namesake of a lighthouse keeper, Arthur Curry. But in the water where the young Arthur truly but in the water where young Arthur truly thrived. It's hard to read today. In adulthood, he took the name Aquaman and used his aquatic abilities to patrol the seven seas. The Lost Night Trade. The Aquatic Avengers, renowned soon, earned him a place among the newly assembled Justice League of America. You could probably read that a lot better than I just did. I saw something flickering on my camera and I turned to look at it. Thought it was a battery light. There you go. You'll have those issues on film. So, hey, there you are. Real name, Arthur Curry. Orion, I believe that's how it is. Occupation, former monarch, because he was the king of Atlantis. Location, Poseidon's Amnesty Bay. Powers, abilities, and skills. Breathes underwater. Great strength. Communicates with sea animals. And some people would say, oh, it's kind of cheesy. I think that's cool when you consider most of the world is covered in water. So an Aquaman's the one that's going to patrol the rest of that. The other figures from this wave, we have Wonder Woman, which I do have, and Darkseid, which is going to be a pass for this guy just because I have the DC Collectibles Darkseid. And once you have that in your possession, do you really need another one? And this one is just not in scale with the other figures. He should have been a collect and connect piece. Can you imagine having a collect and connect piece of a New 52 Darkseid with all the 52 other figures? That's how it should have been done, or at least make him as one figure put together, but in the collect and connect size. So anyway, that's a tangent. What we're going to do, as much as I fumbled with the reading, I'm not going to reshoot it, so you'll have that. I said that twice, so we'll shut the camera off here. I'll get this out of package. We'll come right back up, and we'll get a better look at Aquaman out of package. And hopefully I don't fumble with that. So we'll see you in a second, guys. Alright, here is the new 52 Aquaman from the DC Comics Unlimited out of package. And I gotta say, I do really like this. I am glad, first of all, I'm glad that I picked him up. And B, I'm so very glad he did not look like he did from the prototype. If I can try to find the prototype image, I may try and throw that up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it or not. I don't even know if Mattel wanted to keep that up very long. I'm sure it's out there somewhere on the internet, because once you put something up, it's going to stay there. But a very good figure. The face I'm liking. Initially I thought the face was kind of weak on Aquaman, but I really do like it. And it's nice to have the traditional orange, and it's got some different colors. I don't know if the camera could pick it up. It's just not the kind of flat orange. There's a little bit of shimmer and some darker oranges in there as well, but very cool. I like the belt on this Aquaman a lot. We'll bring up the other Aquaman, the DCUC Aquaman, just a little bit. There are his new gauntlets that are different from the DCUC. So a lot of the same DCUC pieces, but there's been some retooling of some parts, and I'm cool with that. The fins are a little bit different. They're a little bit smaller. I could see my other Aquaman off to the side. We'll go through some of those side by side. And then all of the stamping on the back of Aquaman. Nothing on the foot like my like some of the figures. My Batman, Shiny Batman, has a nice stamp here, but Aquaman does not. Very cool. Just a really good figure. All of a standard DC-UC articulation. The head feels like it's on a ball joint, but it's not quite working as well. It's basically mostly a 360. There's a little bit, but I think with just how his chin is and where the jawline kind of meets the neck is kind of prohibiting it from being able to move. But all the joints are nice and stiff, which is a very welcome thing from Mattel. Wrist turn. The wrists are the things that are just a little bit stiff. So, but they do turn all the way around. You can kind of see, if you can see the oil there a little bit. So it looks like there's something kind of shiny in there. It's almost like he's greased up. There's definitely an oil on my fingers off the camera. You can see that in there, but I don't know why that is. The trident is very, very cool. A much better trident than you get with the DC Collectibles trident. As great as the DC Collectibles figure is, it's a really kind of crappy trident, but this is really kind of cool. It's got a nice end piece down here. Not as fancy as the original Aquaman from the DCUC line, but still very cool. I guess is an excellent looking figure. The only complaint I have are his ankles are a little loose. They move just a little bit more than I would like them to. This right ankle is pretty good as it wasn't in frame there, but the left is, I wouldn't say real loose, as looser. But excellent joints all the way around other than his foot, but he doesn't really seem to have any major problems standing. He feels a little on the rubbery side, down around the knees, but that's not too bad. We'll zoom in here just a little bit, and what we'll do, we'll bring up his DCUC counterpart. Hold on just a second. All right, here we are. Here's the DCUC counterpart Aquaman that I have, and this is from the 2-pack of Aquaman and Black Manta. And they look very cool together. Like I said, this Aquaman is currently on my Young Justice shelf as I try to have all of the teens with their mentor. We'll try to get in here just a little bit if we can. As you can see, obviously the belts are different. I want to say that the shirts are the same mold as far as the scaling goes. Obviously you can tell this is a lot more shinier gold than the orange. I forgot how much I did like the orange. I think initially when I reviewed this I said, oh, this is perfect. Looking at it now, it's very cool. I like it, but the traditional orange I think does work a lot better. It would have been nice if they would have had a metallic orange, kind of like this one, but anyway. The tridents are obviously much different. So this one looks a little bit more cartoony than the New 52 one or the DC Comics Unlimited, but you can see the extra pieces that are in the staff here that aren't in the trident here. It's pretty much just a straight rod, but that's pretty cool. What would have been cool, because in the New 52s I knock Aquaman all about, that if they would have given us the Nightwing stick holder, because as he's walking around he'll have it on his back, kind of like that. So it would have been cool if there was a Nightwing stick holder kind of sideways in here somehow, so you could have attached that in there, but I think for the most part they assume most people are going to have him posed with the trident in his hand, and of course I think you probably would want that anyway. So very cool. You could see that the fins on the DC Universe Classics are much larger. They've kind of shortened those down. The gloves are the same way. It's just kind of 1 point there, and there's the 2 points there, but they're a lot shorter. So we'll pause the camera again, and we'll bring up his DC Collectibles counterpart in just a second. Hold tight. And here we are with the DC Collectibles Justice League Aquaman. Now, as far as sculpting, there's really no comparison to the DC Collectibles to the Mattel. I say it a million times, the Mattel is an action figure. You could say this is an action figure, but the DC Collectibles are pushing more of the statue line in the sculpting. So if you want crazy amount of posing to do your ACBA stuff with, or just have them dynamically posed on your shelf, the Mattel is the way to go. If you're looking for the more statuesque and you just want to have your figures standing very stoic and regal on your shelf, I think this is the way to go and get all that wonderful sculpting. DC Collectibles is going to make a second Aquaman. There's going to be another 7-pack, and they're going to repaint Batman and the Flash and do some different molding on Aquaman, give him a new head, the chain will be gone, and a different trident. I think the necklace will be gone as well. What you're having here is when the first Justice League comic very first came out, those 5 issues were in the past, and this is the current incarnation of Aquaman. He's gotten a haircut, he's gotten rid of the sideburns, so the DC Collectibles are going to do an updated version of this Aquaman by just changing a couple small minor things. Thought the chain was kind of cool, but you know, my wife has always said, what's he going to do, throw this and it's going to jerk him across the room. So DC Collectibles are going to change some things to kind of update him to make him look more like this with the shorter hair, if you kind of follow that or not. I'm going to do a second a video shortly after this one about what I'm going to do moving forward considering Mattel, but I'll kind of save that for my next video. But as you can tell here, I still think this is the much better figure, but having the Mattel figures that I do, I really wanted to have an Aquaman to stand with my Justice League. So why don't we go do that right now? So currently, right now, as it stands, this is the Justice League up till this point that Mattel has made. We have Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and of course Superman. I left shiny Batman downstairs as he's staying on my Batman shelf, and this is the Batman that I've decided for the time being is going to be standing with the Justice League figures. So this is pretty much the Justice League that Mattel has given us at this time. I think Mattel has done a really good job with them, and with Mattel, they are what they are. I'm not knocking Mattel. If you've watched Rob's Rogues long enough, you've seen me have plenty of Mattel figures, and I think Mattel has done a really good job so far with their New 52 figures. We'll look at something else here real quick. Watch this. We've added 2 figures, the New 52 Batgirl from the Batman Unlimited, DC Comics Unlimited, New 52 Hawkman. So these are all the actual physical New 52 figures from Mattel. So we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 New 52 figures from Mattel, and I'm sure that they're coming out. Of course, a Darkseid would be here if I was picking up that Darkseid, so there would be 8 New 52 figures, but I'm not going to. It'd be nice to think that Mattel would come out with some other figures. There was a Wave 20 or an All-Star Green Lantern that looks kind of New 52-ish. You don't see any real panel lines, so if you have that one, you could slip that in. And what I'm going to do, we'll kind of do this real quick here. Here is my Justice League core members that are kind of standing around my shelf right now. This would be all of the original 7 Justice League figures. Of course, we don't officially have a Green Lantern, Hal Jordan New 52 from Mattel, or a Cyborg New 52. This is like the Teen Titan Cyborg, but I've moved him up to the Justice League shelf for the time being. So I think this is how I'm going to have them. If they come out with a Cyborg or Green Lantern, I'll really kind of have to think about it. Again, I don't want to get into that too much, as that's going to be the topic for my next video that's going to be after this. But I like Aquaman a lot. I think he's going to be a great addition, and I kind of want to get into my next topic, but I don't want to take away from Aquaman's review. So let's just get everybody out of here real quick. There, that's better. As my wife calls him, Fish Boy can have his last shining moment here on film. Today we've been taking a look, we'll bring this back up here for good measure, Aquaman, the New 52 Mattel DC Comics Unlimited figure. I highly recommend this figure. If you don't have an Aquaman, or you do, I think this is a great figure. He looks great with the other New 52 Mattel figures, and I think is a good a must-have for your Justice League collection or shelf. And if you're a fan of Aquaman, and the comic has just been amazing. I can't believe I'm up to issue 20, that this has been a monthly comic that I've been thoroughly enjoying, written by Jeff Johns and drawn by Ivan Rice, which the artist has changed now. Ivan Rice is actually the artist on the Justice League title, so it's kind of nice seeing Aquaman still drawn the same as I've been used to. So that's going to do it for me. As always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.